Division 2 next season is going to be pretty damn good. We have 4 teams left, as you mentioned. Old G is the squad that did retire 4 times so far. And when someone tells me that they are retired, I'm not going to believe them at all. Then we have Ooredoo Esports, Thunders. They have some really good players. This is the team that could potentially cause an upset. I've said it yesterday. They could get a win here against Old G if their stars align a little bit. And then on the other side of the bracket, we do have Team Blink against Monospa. Old Team Brame. They are playing really good, entertaining, aggressive Dota. And Team Blink, I think this is also potentially a contender to get into Division 2 this time around.
As you continue the schedule, we will be showing on this channel the first series, OG versus Ooredoo Thunders, and after that, we're going to throw all of you people to OD Pixel to take over the lower bracket semis, and then, of course, the lower bracket finals. Both going to be shown on OD Pixel stream. And as you probably heard from the background, we do have a draft. The players haven't taken too much of their reserve time and just rapid firing it through, but here you have the first phase completed on your screens right now. So we're starting off with some agility-sided, heavy damage dealing on Old G. Well, Ooredoo Thunders, well, you know, start with the classic first pick Tusk and into a Snapfire.
Marcy plus a Sniper. I don't think we've seen too much of this combo. It's super powerful, like just allowing hero to be saved by a Marcy and also giving him a free Satanic, even though after all the nerfs, Marcy is still a good hero. I've seen mostly Marcy being played as an off lane, but this can also be like position 5 Marcy lane with Sniper can still work as a position 4, so everything is still open for Old G. On the other side, you have like Sniper that can be protected. They Ooredoo Thunders already picked heroes that can close the gap, get on top of them. These two heroes, Tusk plus Snapfire, can always play Dota no matter what happens. Like you have a combo, Snowball into Punch. There's enough lockdown for Snapfire Kisses to land. And I like this simple approach of playing Dota where you're not stuck. Because we've seen some games yesterday on our stream where like you're stuck with 2 supports who can't do much. Then you have mid and a safe lane who needs to have a lot of farm. Like you need to survive for 15-20 minutes, and by that time when you get your items, the game's already over.
Yeah. And also what kind of talking about versatility as well in terms of hero drafting. Old G, they've been playing a various amount of different heroes at the course of their open qualifier and closed qualifier run. Feels like they haven't really had too much of unique drafts so far. Old G has played a draft like Magnus, Sniper, Troll, Warlord before. Then you have stuff like Clinks, even bold enough to bring out the Dragon Knights and stuff like this. It's like heroes that you just don't see too often being picked by almost any team, but they have a big hero pool. You have a very big variety on a lot of hero players in the team. So Ooredoo Thunders, do you stick to your comforts? Do you go with your own drafting style? Because this is going to be really hard to outdraft Old G. These guys have so much experience. I think I've talked with, was it Harry? Like he's played against some of these players in other open qualifiers back in the times, and they always felt like we're getting outdrafted every single time we play against them.
And there's no doubt about it. I mean, there's a reason why these players are on top of the game for such a long time. But, there's also new up-and-coming players. They got to start somewhere. They got to make name for themselves. And these are good players. Like, we didn't talk too much about the squad that they got. Like, you check the names. If you're paying attention to, like, Division 2, you heard about pretty much all of them. The big one for me is Noob. Since his time in Spider Pigs, he's been impressive. I think like he still didn't make a breakout to be like the tier 1 player, but the guy's grinding and he has what it takes. Like he needs the squad around himself to be able to just show what he's made of.
Yeah. And also Division 1 experienced players. Omar,
Yeah.
you can bring him up as well, played with cool guys. Well, they don't have such a great run, but I would like to highlight TA 2000. The team that he used to play with, that was in 21, almost the entirety of last year, played for V Gaming, which was kind of like a team that plays super well against like tier 1 level East European teams. I'm not talking tier 1 in the world. I'm talking tier 1 in East Europe. They can contend with them. They can take a map off of Na'Vi. They can win Virtus Pro, but then they will lose to a tier 3 team, which they
Yeah,
probably
that's the
should win. So
problem.
a bit of an inconsistency there.
I think I mentioned that quite a lot when we talk about tier 2, tier 3 teams. Inconsistency or consistency is the problem for most of these teams. Just being able to win against good teams on a good day, but also crumble against teams that they should not lose. But to go back to the draft, Ooredoo Thunders going with the Morphling and Dead Prophet, it's a really good Morphling game. There's not a hero that Morphling is really afraid of, potentially a Bushwhack from the trees to surprise them. Other than that, they don't have much. Like, there is... Okay, well, that's one way to counter it, because they already played one game of Ancient Apparition. It was against the Slark, against Team Blink, and it was super effective.
Yep, one of the classics to go up against the Morphling, handy against the DP too. Both kind of reliant on that sustain heal. AA just takes it away from you.
5 seconds.
Also having
Heroes on OG side are very squishy. This is Sniper, Hoodwink, Ancient Apparition. They don't have like ways to escape, and there's a fair amount of lockdown on Ooredoo Thunders. Like, yeah, sure, Hoodwink with her third ability, Scurry, Sniper, he usually builds into Pike, but there's also not enough lockdown on their side. So if Ancient Apparition misses his ulti on Morphling, because that's going to be the main target. I mean, it's also great against the Dead Prophet and the Spirit Siphon. You're going to have to choose. There's not much control to control this Morphling, and this could be an issue.
Yeah, like Ulchi have these very long-range supports as well.
Yeah.
Like Hoodwink can play from afar, AA can play from afar. Positioning comes into mind at first. Like how do you approach fights? Where do you take fights? And yep, they're kind of missing the beef here. And you know, one hero that helps with positioning and mobility. You know, we always talk about the Centaur pick, which is something that they could look for as a final pick, unless they want to put Marcy in the off lane. But buffs up pretty fast with the BKBs into Basters, maybe BKB into another sustaining item, maybe an aura item for the team to help them out a bit more. So there's still options. They have the last pick, but Ooredoo Thunders. You got Morphling, you got DP, you have a Tusk. You're also probably flexing around in this draft. What do you want to go for here?
They're keeping things open. If you talk about Sniper, this was Noone's one of the better heroes. He was one that banged it out multiple times when the hero was not as strong. But it's also like Topson's hero, so they can flex it between 1 and 2 easily. Against the Dead Prophet, if it's Dead Prophet on the mid lane, it's a good matchup for Sniper because he can keep the distance, he can peep the Dead Prophet. She tries to use the Spirit Siphon on him, he just stands his ground and keeps hitting her. But yeah, I'm a little worried, like, for how OG... I still need to see the last pick, but before we started yesterday, I also mentioned that if Ooredoo has a good draft, that they could potentially take the game off OG. And seeing the first 4 heroes, I think this could potentially be the game.
Yeah, the surprise
People are like, yeah, he just woke up. He's saying a lot of nonsense right now. But these guys are good. Like they're not, yeah, these players are not, you know, yet TI winners, and yeah, they go with the puck because we already mentioned there's not enough lockdown. So I would love to see some kind of a instant lockdowns coming out from OG. This Faceless Void ban makes a lot of sense. It's a great setup for Ancient Apparition. You can blow up people easily. And yeah, now let's see how OG responds to this.
Yeah, This kind of allows Ooredoo Thunders to put that DP into a support position, maybe help out more in the laning stage. Siphon is still pretty handy because it's now flat damage instead of percentage-based damage, so some of the offlaners don't like to play against him too much. You could also put the Snap there if you want to. Still move around with the Tusk and the DP. You've got a lot of range heroes and only one melee hero in the draft, so Ooredoo Thunders kind of... I would sometimes see that range heroes are better than melee heroes when you're looking at the laning stage, but it's not always like that. It just gives you a bit of an advantage with poking and trading. Then you just got to capitalize on it. So, LG, do they decide to put the Marcy into the off lane?
I think so. I think you're looking for a mid lane, maybe something like Kunkka against... You know, to have a setup for your Ancient Apparition ulti. It can also be Hoodwink on the mid lane. That's Topson's hero, so very difficult to draft against OG because they have these hero specialists.
Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be the Centaur that you mentioned in the end.
It is the Centaur that they're going to grab. That's going to help them around with their movement and mobility. And it's a Topson AA mid. I've seen this before. This actually, you know, the person who actually has played the AA that I remember this from is actually noone, back from the days. But you know, Topson wants to show that he's the better AA. So maybe a bit of, you know, conversation going on in the team. Topson's like, yeah, I'm gonna show you, boy, I was like, how to play this hero in mid. But what do you think about? You know, let's put like a power ranking. We'd like to talk about the 50-50s, the 45-55s. Ooredoo Thunders, they have a very capable draft. We're not going to talk anything else except the draft factor here. Do you feel like you could give them a slight edge, or are we looking at a 50-50?
I gotta be honest. I like Ooredoo Thunder's draft more here. But then again, if someone can make Ancient Apparition mid work, it's definitely Topson. Like, he's been known to play these weird heroes on a mid lane. That's how he made the name for himself and how he won double TI. But yeah, I think Ooredoo, they have a really good shot at this one. I would even call the draft like 55-45 favored for Ooredoo. Because if you don't make stuff happen... Because... Like Zeus, for example, on a mid lane, Ancient Apparition on a mid lane, they're different kind of heroes than when played from support role. Because you hit that level 6, like 5-6 minutes into the game, and then if you start snowballing, if you start hitting those ultis on a side lane, then it's very easy to get the advantage. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. You know, we still haven't cast any of the OG games, and finally we get to do it.
Yep, exactly. This is a way to really kick a banger for your Thursday, all of you people watching at home, as we're heading over to the first game of the first best of 3 of the day. This is already one team getting a chance to qualify directly for Division 2 in West Europe. So if you win this series, you're done for the day. You're just going to have to wait, another month until you actually get to play the division. But if you lose this one, you still got a series later on today. You also have a bit of a break because the semifinals are going to be played out before with Blink versus Monaspa. So, you know, you got a chance to actually watch your opponents play, maybe get some information here and there, and get yourselves refreshed into the last series. So it's not a shame if you lose this one, but you would love to clinch that spot already. And Old G looking like the favorites out of these qualifiers. They have their sights on it. Nothing less is acceptable for them than to qualify for Division 2.
Ooredoo Thunders, they placed the ward. They're ready to battle it out. Oh no, and he's in trouble.
The shard block coming out from Omar. No Tail watching on the sidelines. Can't really help this sniper at all. It's going to be Wouter bringing up the Crypt Swarm for the last hit, taking first blood for Ooredoo Thunders. And a D-ward.
That's a good way to start a game. Exactly what they need. A boost, they kill the sentry, they kill the obs, and they still have an obs. I think No-Tail's gonna get rid of this observer ward, because, yeah, he's gonna get this done. Also, what's this sniper gun? I never understood what it is. It looks so huge. It's the biggest gun in the game. If you zoom it in, it looks like broccoli is stuck inside of this gun. Not even joking.
Yeah, it's a very, very shiny broccoli stuck to the barrel. It does say it's like a gillied gunman, you know, like you have this this kind of literal sniper cosplay, but the gun is it's kind of
the
like
gun
out
is
of this
like
world.
holding a giant asparagus. That's what it looks like.
Out of this world. I guess no one is also a bit out of this world. No tail. Gonna be trying to connect the pull from Omar as they're already doing some
I
lane
get it now.
shenanigans here.
You only can use this gun if you're position 1, because you know you're a farmer, and we're talking about the vegetables here.
Actually, it does make a lot of sense. No tail getting caught there. Wither wanting to join in on the action, finding a pretty easy kill. Tusk DP. These guys have a lot of burst damage. Like pretty scary to trade off of these two.
Yeah, this is why you pair up these strong offlaners like Viper, Dead Prophet with a stun, whether we're talking about Tiny, Tusk, Earth Spirit, so you always have a kill threat to block into Spirit Siphon. The bottom lane did really start with a disaster pretty much the way it's going right now, because they got the 2 kills, they got the Observer Ward, they got the Courier, and yeah, once they hit level 3, for now Tusk's saving a point in case he needs a snowball or a tag team. That Prophet doesn't put much like right clicks in, so maybe he decides to go with the snowball. For now, Omar will go and pick up the water rune while the Dead Prophet's having a good time on the bottom, sitting underneath the tower, farming up.
Yeah, CS also looking pretty even here. In the mid lane, Noob and Topson both at 11 currently. And at the top lane, a bit of an attempt onto the Centaur, but a turnaround with the Bushwhack and the Hoof Stomp. They do have these 2 long stuns. Yesterday we did see what the Rubik Centaur lane can do with a lot of burst and a lot of lockdown, which enables them to also get those extra right clicks in. Centaur, no hefty hero. Right click damage is definitely there. Morphling having to go for the strength morph, but do they have the damage for a double edge? And Seb calculates it with MSS and gets their first kill on the side of OG.
A bit of a mistake there from Snapfire. She did have 10 stick charges when that started. Maybe she thought Morphling is gonna be okay, but they didn't have mana for a cookie, so a stick into cookie would definitely help out Centaur not landing a stun.
Yeah. Also, one pretty important interaction with the Snap versus the Hoodwink is if the Bushwhack lands first, you can cookie your friend off of the tree, and it doesn't destroy the tree, but it disjoints you off of it. So if you get it at the same time as Bushwhack is landing on your ally, you can basically just recover your hero, free him off instantly, and help him to turn around for back into action. Shards, though, in the bot lane. Omar trying to catch the Marcy, but they got their sights on the sniper. No one, a lot of stick charges with a Fairy Fire Burn, just not gonna do enough. And it will be a 3rd kill for the Death Prophet.
Winter doing a good job. I think it's mostly about Omar being at the right place at the right time. Look at how effective he is moving around the map. He is getting the water rune one more time, trying to secure it at least. But Topson is there. He knows that Topson doesn't have a stun, so we'll just pick it up. Also saving water rune on top for Noob. And yeah, they did manage to kill Centaur, because right now he still doesn't have a Vanguard. He is Lord of the Rings himself, Ring of Hell to Ring of Protections. Even buying a Raindrop, understands that there is a lot of burst damage, magical, coming out from Morphling and Snapfire.
1k net worth lead as well for Ooredoo Thunders coming in the early minutes. The only hero not having too much CS is the Morphling, but that 1 kill could also loosen up the lane a little bit. It is still pretty 50-50. Both cores have died in the top lane. CSP even.
Sniper.
Nice Bushwhack there from MSS, and they've got the Morphling down. Beautiful combo coming out there, and wasn't actually suspecting to get caught with that Bushwhack at all. Basically pixel perfect from MSS, no strength morph, easy kill.
I remember the previous DPC season. MSS, definitely one of the better Hoodwink players out there. They did manage to surprise. Like, you need to be very quick. Morphling, I don't know. I'd be very anxious playing Morphling against this lane, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where if you morph the wrong way, if you don't click it, it's like, yeah, you're most likely dead. Because Centaur didn't put a point in retaliating, going for the max damage, double edge, level 2, 180 damage. It's quite a lot. Yeah, and Ancient Apparition is about to crack level 6, so they're gonna try to make something happen on the side lane. Most likely on the top lane, because on the bottom lane, they don't have a stun. They do have a rebound, but
Yeah.
Let's see how they execute it.
Well, they're going to use the rebound exactly there, trying to keep Witter away. At least the
Ancient
sniper
Apparition is coming to the top lane, though. Morphling.
What they can do here. AA Blast not gonna quite connect, and no kill in the bottom lane either. That's their kind of, you know, maybe a bit of a taunting AA Blast, like making his presence known. Beware, Morphling players. Kind of want to touch upon the Morph versus Hoodwink matchup once, because it feels like the Hoodwink always has an edge throughout this entire game. It's just down to the Morphling. Does he make a mistake or not? The Hoodwink can just, you know, poke around.
Just don't make
always,
mistakes.
Yeah. Just don't make any mistakes. Exactly. With, you know, the bushwhack into sharpshooter with no strength morph usually is enough to just kill the Morphling straight from 100 to 0. Especially early on.
Looking at this bottom lane, I like that Prophet built Arcane Boots, because Tusk as the hero, like, you need a lot. You need a lot of mana sustain, and this provides them to put even more pressure. And here comes the first rotation from Noob. This is also Coil with the Arcane, so they're gonna get no tail. They would definitely love to kill Sniper there. Sniper level 4 still, does have 2 shrapnel charges, but not gonna commit. AA Blast gonna miss.
Yeah, it's a bit late. Probably was suspecting if he continues for the dive, then maybe he gets a kill with it. And Ooredoo Thunders up to 5 now. Morphling also catching up, and CS. Bit curious about this this Ancient Apparition build-up. What's like your most efficient item on AA as a core?
I think something like a Witchblade Aghanim Scepter, and then maybe a Dragonlance Hurricane Pike. It's what's gonna be the build on Ancient Apparition from the mid lane. Like, you want to maximize your damage. Witchblade definitely hurts quite a lot with the Chilling Touch plus Ice Vortex.
Yep. Bit of a different Ags on AA. It's still pretty much the same as it used to be, except it's not constant Chilling Touch spam. Now just 50% reduced cooldown. Still very effective. And I like the Witchblade build-up if you can get it.
No, it removes the cooldown completely. It's just the mana cost is down by 50.
Oh, it just removes
50%,
cooldown and reduces mana cost. Oh, okay. So thought it would be like a 1.5 second cooldown, unless you have a talent to reduce it as well. No, alright. So it's like a 1 second cooldown Chilling Touch. But basically, it's the speed of your dry click anyway. A blast
no
on top lane.
There's no one at the bottom. Another blast gonna miss. Seb is now a bit of a problem. Difficult to kill, because he does have a full Vanguard, Cloak, and also has a Stampede. So they need to either bring Puck and maybe potentially even like a Dead Prophet. But we also didn't mention about one of the easier combos to execute. We did mention Tusk plus Snapfire playing together.
Yep.
You have Puck on top of that. So using Dream Coil plus Mortimer's Kisses is what's gonna get you the kills.
Yeah, definitely. That is also a very easy gap closer to get to the sniper using the Puck Coil. And Topson, he has teleported bottom. They'd like to kill the DP if they can. No tail. Playing aggressive in. Even the Wildwing Ripper actually pushing the DP a bit closer to him. But still a bit too far away. Witter, it's really down to him now. There's No Tail ready for the jump in. Misses the stun, but the AA Blast from short blank range. And DP with the Exorcism not going to be enough. No HP regen for you. No one will be traded off, though. Omar going to be pummeled down by Topson for a double kill. And he's still got plenty of resources. 14 stick charges. Bushwhack coming out as well. Can they take the puck too? Noob going for the quick orb and jaunting himself to safety. And Topson, no AA Blast, no tail. Trying to give some vision for another extra poke. But this puck, he's already out. And it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade.
I don't know if you disconnected, but I disconnected from the game. It was a good rotation there from Topson, because he did move like his ulti was right on cooldown when they needed to be off cooldown, sorry, and then landed it perfectly on 2 heroes. Dead Prophet even using ulti to be like trying to take a fight there. Thought that maybe with the hood that's gonna be enough to survive. Spirit Siphon, of course, is not working. Going into a pipe, she did have 20 magic wand charges, didn't pop it, understood that it's kind of useless to do it anyway, so we'll have 21 charges for the next fight. It's a big turnaround play for Jet Prophet.
And an extra extra pool of HP to pop. Especially if that AA blast is not active, if the debuff is not on you. Make a big difference. Plus the siphons. Topson deciding to go for a Force Staff after he's finished off his Falcon Blade. So, you know, it is Topson. He never really goes with the meta. He's the one who plays his own Dota game, makes it work. MSS, he's ready for the kill.
Meta.
Look at this. This is what the combo we talked about. You catch the Morphling once, bushwhack into Sharpshooter, easy kill. All by himself.
That's a huge pickup. Being able to solo kill enemy carry with your position 4, while Centaur is maximizing the farm on the top lane, pulling it to the camp, and yeah, good way
Can they turn
to use Stampede. Get away from both Snowball and Snapfire Kisses.
They still decided to go in. They do have the sidekick, at least to help out a bit here. No Tail gonna finally getting killed off by the Witchblade ticks. Constant pummel from Noob. Kind of already got out once, but they were looking for a turnaround and instead didn't get the backup that they needed in time, costing the Marcy's life. But if you look at net worth, that one kill actually proving to be pretty important here on the Morphling, because he is still dragging behind. Kaori actually going to get caught by Topson and MSS here. Snowball save. Moving in with Omar, fighting versus 3. They're going to need some backup. That's 1. Sharpshooter being loaded up. Tuskus getting taken down. Topson finishes him off.
All G bringing numbers to these fights. Maybe if Puck was there, like 2 seconds earlier. Puck, on top of the net worth, does provide a lot of solo kill potential. He can kill both supports with 1 hit on the Witchblade, maybe refreshing it, and a couple of... That doesn't have to commit with the Dream Coil, because once you get to the top of these 2 heroes, they don't have a way to escape. Sniper is recovering on the bottom lane, decided to go for Mask of Madness next, and yeah, looking for a shard as his second item. Usually we don't see shard picked up that early on. It's mostly either like a Dragonlance or a full or a Force Staff if he feels like he needs to run away. But yeah, it's a cheaper version of a Force Staff.
And also looking at their Roche potential, which could be very slow. You don't want to really wait for the second Roshan. If you had something like an Ursa or a Husker or an Odie or something like in your team, maybe then you could opt to keep the shard option for later. They're going to stretch him actually with the coil. And Kaori with the Mortimer's Kisses. Yep, they're going to make it sure that they're going to get this kill. But Ulchi, can they respond? Sep with the blink reveal, going to get the stun onto the Snapfire. And Omar also stuck on the high ground. Stampede being used so they can get even closer in. Topson literally in melee range. They will finish off Omar. They get Kaori as well. So a bit of revenge. Can they get Wouter? If they do, there's going to be a really good trade-off. Blink stun from Sep once again. And the DP getting caught. Trying to both throw out those siphons to regenerate. But it's not gonna be enough by the looks of it. I mean, he's still surviving, but he's not gonna make it out alive. It's only down to seconds. And they get themselves revenge for Noone's death.
The burst damage is way too high. Like, a couple of double edges. Ancient Apparition does heavy right-click with 4 points in shield. Like, Ice Vortex plus a double edge noob.
Bushwhack.
Is there a bushwhack? He dodges it.
Okay, dodges actually both incoming abilities. No Tail can't get close enough for the lift. The slow, though, is gonna be... Oh, the bushwhack doesn't connect. Puck still has a bit of a cooldown going. The stun connects as well. He comes out of the snowball, and he's got frozen feet right after Puck getting stuck. And Topson tries to TP home. Not gonna happen. Sep, 3-man stun. Follow up from No Tail. They're gonna take down Omar. And Wouter and TA2000 just gonna have to poke a couple hits, and they've lost quite a lot of heroes. Not just a 3-for-1 in bottom, now 2 heroes to follow up in that, making technically a 5-1 trade. Could be a 6th kill for Old G as the Snapfire getting caught as well. No Tail with the follow-up stun. Yeah, that's 6 kills in less than a minute.
All over the place. Seb and MSS, I didn't see them misuse their abilities. Seb 2-man into 3-man hoof stomp, and also bushwhack. Using it multiple times. But a bit of unfortunate there for Ooredoo Thunders, because Cold Feet, straight out of Snowball, got him frozen. And yeah, he couldn't use any of the abilities. Feels like they lack one hero. For now, Old G, they are going with the 5 players pretty much. Even though they lost the sniper, they still decided to take the fight. But Morphling was nowhere to be found. He's still like in the middle of the pack, trying to recover, lowest of the cores, and he's not the hero that joins the fights early on, especially because he's playing into Ancient Apparition. Will always be afraid. If that ulti is available, he knows that it's gonna be used on him. And also, the Dead Prophet ultis, last 2 of those, they didn't get any value from it.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Still, net worth tied, even between these two teams. Old G stacking up with heroes towards this mid lane to protect no one with the push. If they were to jump this sniper, they've got their tools to reply. It's going to be pretty good for them to get rid of this mid tower. That is going to reduce Roshan area control for Ooredoo Thunders. And they're just going to let it slide. Another top tower trade, though.
Top tower is under siege. Middle tower
TP's kicking in. Kiari scouts it out. Oh. Cancelled. Bit of a bait TP, but okay. A blast from Seb's Blink Stun onto Omar, and Morphling also got the debuff, so he has to play carefully here. Can't go for Strength Morph here right away, and look at that. That's 1, that's 2.
Oof. Bit of a risky play there by Morphling, getting in, like trying to save the Tusk. Not sure what the plan was. Gets hit by AA Blast. And Deep Ward behind the tower could scout things out. MSS
good try.
Looking for another bushwhack.
Yeah, I feel like it does feel a bit that Ooredoo Thunders are kind of dropping the ball here.
Yeah, it's still in terms of net worth, the game is pretty even, but felt like they lost the last 3 fights. Someone out there is farming on the side lanes. Old G, they are bringing numbers.
Ooh, that's going to be big if they can get this puck kill. Still living. Topson, though, he's got it. Kiari does secure himself a double kill on both of the supports, but Topson, 1 versus 3. He's got backup coming. Seb, he's approaching. He's got that Blink Stun. AA Blast from Topson will connect onto Omar. Still continues to throw those big punches. And Seb, oh, okay. Goes up on the Blink. It was actually going to stun on the spot, but he's going to get the connection on the DP. Topson doesn't TP home. Cancelled by Omar. Now no one.
Damage sniper. Old G would still want it to take this fight, but a bit too deep. Like, even though it connected, there was a full pipe on Dead Prophet to keep him alive. And Dead Prophet, like, I've seen it more and more coming out from the off lane, not just the pipe, because pipe feels better. Of course, the Brave Back got nerfed. We don't see it as much. It's very, like, situational these days. But yeah, Dead Prophet going for Guardian Greaves. People probably thinking like, yeah, you're playing against Ancient Apparition, you can't buy that item. Yeah, but you're not gonna be hit every one of them with the Guardian Greaves, and it's the item that got get buffed over and over again. Finally, Dead Prophet ulti to take down this tier 1 tower, which is gonna open up the map for Thunder Ooredoo.
Tier 1 for Roshan, though. It's Old G, I think Ooredoo Thunders scouted out that they're probably in the pit. They've got some vision around the area. They did see one of the heroes walk right next to the cliff. Might have been No Tail. Put the ward down at the top side of Roshan, but a tower and an Aegis now on the sniper are going to make it a lot difficult to catch this guy. And actually, if you look at Seb's build up here with the he also has a pipe. You extend those fights a bit longer. Has a Vanguard and the Blink and Orchid.
Instant jump on Morphling and also Puck. He sees that Puck is not going for any kind of a dispel mechanic and understands that Puck could cause some of the issues. So he will try to be the one controlling him.
That's a good attempt with the Stampede, trying to get to the tree line. Puck is out of there, though. But yeah, I really like the idea. Blink Stun, even with his shard on the Morphling, can't cast it if you're silenced. Can't get your Strength Morph up. Or he can just lock it in if that's also the case. He has no damage after Snapfire. You're a bit too deep, my friend. You're gonna get a bit of a couple warning shots from topson and MS. Okay, screw the warning shots. He's just gonna go straight for the Ice Blast. Attempting for a kill here. Oh, there's a bushwhack on 2, catching Omar and Winter. MSS catching both of them. No tail. Has been taken down by Noob, though, but no one. He's for hammering down those hits on the sniper. No mercy for the DP. And Omar, oh boy, will find himself all by himself, surrounded by so many enemies. They got the mid-tier 1 tower, but a costly fight, nevertheless.
I feel like they just need to bring an extra hero. If they bring 2 heroes, I mean, in terms of net worth, it's increasing for Ooredoo Thunders because they're farming on the side lanes 2 heroes. But yeah, I would just love them to bring an extra hero and see how that fight goes.
Yeah. Still a 2k net worth lead for Ooredoo Thunders, mainly as TA2000 finally been able to catch up on farm. He's got 4 deaths, but he's still got 200 CS, so his pace is still up there. Followed up by the puck, and also the DP having such a good laning stage definitely does play a big role here. AA, not exactly the hero that spends time farming. He looks for kills, but Seb is tanky, but how tanky in the end is he? AA Blast connecting up to Omar and to Wouter, only doing damage to the Tusk. Not a follow-up opportunity anymore.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Still 2 minutes left in that Aegis, so old G, they would try to go in and play aggressive, get the most out of it.
Yep.
Again, net worth increasing for Ooredoo Thunders. And Snapfire, like position 5, does have 2 big items. You have Force Staff and the Glimmer Cape, plus a built-in save with the Cookie, plus a Snowball save. So there's a lot of ways for them to choose how the fight is gonna go. Yep. Also, a lot of burst damage on OG's side. You have Sniper with the right clicks when he uses Mask of Madness. Ice Vortex with the double edge, plus a sharpshooter. Like, you can kill pretty much anyone.
Yep. They've just seen 2 heroes in mid. And they're heading straight towards the triangle. Taking a bit of a wrap around Omar, already cutting out the smoke area here. Good positioning for him. He's going to pop any smokes approaching, and he sees no tail. And there goes your surprise advantage. In a way, Stampede, Seb wants to go. Can't catch the stun. Too far away.
They're gonna farm their ancient stack. At least they got something out of it, and instantly.
Yeah,
Ooredoo Thunders gonna take the top part of the map. And I love Morphling items. Like, what is this? It's like every single time Morphling has these items, like, they have a little bit of every a casual mask, like 20 minutes into the game, you have items in the backpack. Going into BKB next, I guess he wants to be able to protect himself against the bushwhack. Ancient Apparition ulti goes through magic immunity, but other spells don't, so I guess that's how he wants to be able to protect himself. And yeah, he's more than fine against the right clicks from Sniper because it's all physical damage. Mostly in these situations when Sniper plays against Terrorblade, like when he plays against these high armor heroes like a Morphling, they do tend to go for the Maelstrom instead.
And also on the Morphling, he's got 4 items built halfway. Okay, now 3 as he just finishes off the BKB. You know, can still upgrade Yasha, can still upgrade Glance, can still upgrade the Mask.
And still upgrade Raid Band in 30 seconds, 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
he can upgrade his magic wand into Holy Locket.
Reaching out to your Lacoste.
Yeah. Smoke from Ooredoo Thunders.
Yeah, it's also in the cover of darkness. No vision in this area, but no tail. He knows. Something's definitely up. Nobody's showing anywhere on the map. And he's actually going to get surprised by it. He just walked behind the tree line. And ends up costing his life. They caught the Sniper. It turns around with the BKB. No tail coming in with the buyback. They got Blink stun from Seb onto the DP, though. And now just waiting for their time. They've already used the Ice Blast, though. Not looking like a hot fight. No one already down. Beautiful stun. The coil connecting on 3. And they've got themselves MSS. They got no tail as well. Seb on the run. And Topson retreating to the high ground as well. Seb, he's just trying to buy some time. You know, he is a tanky boy. And he can't really do much to all of these chasers. But he's going to have to forfeit his life.
Now, that was beautifully executed. Great charge from Amar, and yeah, Noob understands, like, he needs to give him a tip. First, they kill No Tail, he buys back, dies again, but the ice shards keeping Sniper in place. He does have a grenade right now. I don't think he had grenade in the previous fight. He wanted to buy it, then bought the full BKB and Crystallis. He understands that, like, none of them have 4 staff. Other than Ancient Apparition, and he was not close to Sniper, so with 1 shard, he's gonna be blocked. And Dead Prophet in the end made an adjustment when we talked about the items. She was thinking about getting the Greaves, but in the end bought the full Heaven's Halberd. I think this is a better option. Now that I see it, and now that I've seen it in action, it looks much better. So if you pop that on Sniper pre-BKB, or if you use it on Ancient Apparition later on, it just feels so good. Because Ancient Apparition, still, like, it's a mixed damage. You have magical, physical. You do have good right clicks, especially when you get to the Aghanim Scepter. And again, same spot.
Oh, but the turnaround from Old G! It's even better than the initiation coming out from Ooredoo Thunders. They were suspecting to get a jump with their ward. They had vision, and MSS able to turn the whole Shalada around. And now that I also think about the grenade on the Sniper, maybe this is no one thinking I had some PTSDs from the laning stage of constantly getting blocked by the shards. Now I have a way of jumping over it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Pyke does the same thing. This time around, there's no Dragonlance, no Pyke.
Yep.
Next Roche could be up in 7 seconds. Seb scouting things out. Maybe they're gonna be blessed by Gaben, but it's a difficult thing to execute. I also want to see Noob adjusting his item build, because Centaur just showed his Orchid. Like, he showed the component, so they know he's going to go for it, and he will need a defensive item. Whether we're talking about Lincoln Sphere, BKB, or a Yule Scepter. He needs a Dispel.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need a Dispel, a Lotus, something like that on the side of OT.
If they can get 1 Lotus, there is already a 4 staff, a Glimmer on Snapfire, plus a Cookie, but it's not the one that you want. Like, you're relying on your teammates, and we all know that teammates in Dota, like, can't be trusted.
Yeah. Yeah, we know all about that.
Roshan is up, by the way. There are 2 Observer Wards from Ooredoo Thunder, scouting things out. However, Old G, they're smoked.
Yeah, that's the thing. MSS
they
found
Sniper,
they found the other ward placed down here with the sentry, but they did not suspect a second ward in this area, and they're gonna get surprised by it. Seb, perfect target to start things off if they can kill him in time. And TA2000 turns into Sniper. AA Blast will be connecting all to him. No Tail with the Unleash. Gonna turn around and try to take TA2000 down. It looks like they're gonna be able to. He's down. He's gonna trade off both of the carries. They do get the Seb Centaur out of the way though. Topson does have the Illusion Rune to purge off the Witchblade effect. Almost getting a bit of a turnaround onto the puck, too. 2 for 1, but without the carry, you can't do Roche either.
Still a really good trade for Ooredoo Thunders. They understood how to approach this fight, and as you said, them having 2 Observer Wards, they saw Sniper, and there's also another Observer Ward on their side of the river that is scouting things out, so made the fight much easier for them. Going on to Centaur, so knowing that if and they didn't overlap any of these spells, because Tusk was using the shards, the punch, and then full Dead Prophet, ulti, snowball, so there's no way for him to run away.
We are closing up on the 30-minute marker here in our first game. Ooredoo Thunders with a 6k lead, and for now, the time being is graph showing a win rate positive on their side. Still could go either way. This game is pretty much, well, I wouldn't say it as a stalemate, but something like that. Pretty even matchup. The first even game we've had so far on the stream, so we are welcoming it with open arms. Want to see some good Dota. We're finally getting some good Dota.
the minute mark. Seems like Ooredoo Thunder, they want to smoke and they know that this Roshan, they can't just let it go.
That's a really quick Roshan, already down a halfway. Gotta go in instantly if they're gonna make it in time. 3k HP still remaining. Oh, Noob coming in with a jump. They've got topson in the backline. Snapfire ulti coming in as well. They're gonna be taking down topson. Set with a 2-man stun. But do they have the damage to fight back? And TA2000 goes into the Roche pit. He wants to steal this Roshan for himself. And OT, they are protecting this Roche pit area. They are split though, but they can't get to it in time. And TA2000, with that fight, they get topson out of the way, they secure Roshan, they secure the shard, and he's going to use it.
It looked like OG might be able to get it in time, but with the smoke, they got there really quickly. And we didn't mention that Morphling did have Aghanim Scepter, not just for this fight, but also previous fights, so stealing stats from Sniper and getting the extra attack speed with it is pretty powerful.
Looking for more. Old, you gotta be careful here.
And now he also picked up the shard from Roshan. Omar, he's
still
still chasing. Seb is there.
Yep. They're just gonna keep on going. Yeah, I was a bit worried for Old G. Like, do they really want to stay in here? Like, maybe they suspect Ooredoo Thunders is gonna split and maybe give a hero kill, but the bot lane was already pushing in. Kind of an obvious sign that this tier 2 tower is gonna be the target. They're gonna move there as a team, and they find Seb on the way out. Or the way in, even in this case. Forcing out the glyph, though, buying a bit of time. Now with this bot tier 2 tower falling, basically, Ooredoo Thunders claiming this bottom half of the map for themselves. No longer welcome territory.
That Prophet does have her ulti available. It's a level 3 exorcism, so this game could literally end in the next fight. They do have more than enough damage. One Ancient Apparition ulti, if it misses, like even if it hits on Morphling, he still has Aegis. So very difficult fight for OG next time around. He does have Shard on Morphling that he got for free from Roshan. So that means that even if they initiate on him, he can still use Attribute Shift.
Kaori also deciding to go for an extra BKB on the snap, just to stretch those fights a bit longer. And can also then start to initiate with the cookie, or at least be even closer to the front lines once you have that. No cancel, no silence from Seb. Sorkit will prevent you from getting your ulti off. Just having that extra
about, yeah, getting the ulti off, protecting, because they don't have any BKB piercing abilities anyway that can stop the Mortimer's Kisses from landing. And okay, now he's changing things around. He's like, yeah, my pocket's not going for defensive items. This Orchid could hurt him, so maybe a Lotus Orb, because Puck decided to go for Kaya Sanj. It's also like a semi-save against the silences, because they don't last as long, but still. Maybe they think they have enough with the Snowball, with the Cookie, with the 4 staffs, Glimmer Capes. So someone needs to take care of this Puck.
Hotel dragging his courier around until he has inventory space to actually pick up the gem. I gotta say, I really like Old G's map movements here, despite the Aegis situation. It's already down to 2 minutes. They've only lost the tier 2 tower with it, and they're still able to push out the top lane, keep the mid wave pushed out, and not really end up in trouble of Ooredoo Thunders jumping on any singular hero. They're moving pretty much as a stack, but they've been pushing out these waves very actively. Now, eventually, though, they're going to lose another tier 2 tower and soon going to have to face the inevitable, which is the high ground defense. They're actually forcing them back to the tier 2 tower in the top lane, away with the Stampede, so that's they're going to keep their tier 2 tower up. This is really good from them if they can get out. Noob, can he find anyone with the coil? Nope, he can't. These are really good map moves.
Yeah, trying to get most out of the map. Good thing is the net worth lead is not increasing for OT. Sniper is farming, lacking a little bit of a damage right now. He decided to go for the Lincoln Sphere, so that's his way to protect against Morph, so that he can't steal his stats, but needs to be careful here.
Gotta be careful here with the outpost. And got the stun onto Topson here. Followed up by TA2000, actually getting a bit of a turnaround opportunity. Topson blows up the Aegis, and noone getting some damage out, now has to force the BKB, and he needs to get out of this one, but he can still grenade. And he's gonna be safe on the other side of that snow wall. And Exorcism spent for Ooredoo Thunders, Aegis gone. Losing the A8 doesn't really feel like much of a loss for old G here. Just gotta keep everyone alive.
He doesn't have a buyback, so they should check, see what's happening. If he does have a buyback, try to poke. I mean, there's still a tier 2 tower on the top lane, so they're gonna play it safe and go from there. Morphling dies every single time he's caught inside the Ice Blast. They just shred him. Couple of right clicks, like AA can, not gonna say solo kill him, but one stun and couple of right clicks with Ice Vortex and Chilling Touch. Look at the range on Ancient Apparition. Of course, he found the Enchanted Quiver.
Oh yeah, that's really spicy. Has the Ags, almost a Moon Shard. A lot of attack
He
speed.
wants that level 20 talent as well.
Oh,
plus
yeah.
80 damage on Chilling Touch.
Yeah, that is really nice. Yeah, I also had some morning eyes early on when we talked about that AA Ags. I thought there was some small rework to it, but I thought it said reduces, but it says removes cooldown, as you were saying. Took me, what, half an hour to realize?
It's okay. Still early in the morning. We're gamers. These are
Good morning,
we're
everyone.
not supposed to be up at this time.
Yeah, these aren't the real gamer hours. We're thinking about Seb for a second. Omar already popping his tag team.
He has a BKB coming to him. So the next fight for Seb is going to be much easier. He can snap the coil. Puck is not level 25 yet, so can use a BKB, protect himself.
Snap the coil or snap the puck. Trying to set up with Ice Blast for a quick kill on Kaori. Snowball save. BKB used by Seb. Stampede coming in as well. No one coming in from the side. No tail popped is unleashed. They have Sharpshooter loaded up. Omar is going to be taken down. No one finishes him off with a final right click. That's a lot of resources spent for one kill. And Ooredoo Thunders thinking about going back in. Omar coming in with the buyback. They're going to get the grenade. Move themselves to safety. BKB already used on Nuke. Going on to Topson. Topson going to be taken down. He's gone for 70 seconds. Gem down on the ground too. And Sep going to be followed off as well. A triple kill for TA2000.
Drop the gem. So this is going to be even more difficult for Old G. They're going to lose all their wards. And yeah, Omar baited. BKB baited at Stampede and now bought back. That's exactly what you want to have from your position for. RC buying back one more time. Ancient Apparition does not have buyback, and this might be the beginning of the end. Glyph also already popped.
You talked about OT may be able to snatch a game. It should happen with this draft, and currently it's looking like it. Not looking too hot for Old G. They're going to lose MSS without using too many resources on a no-tail. He just bought back. Barely before the DP silence does connect, but he got his cast off before it. That would have been a dieback, and no one to defend except no one. Nope. Delivering the poke while TA2000 continues with the push, and that's going to be 2 laser racks secured for OT. Old G in big draw trouble.
May respawn in 10 seconds, so there's also a double damage that just spawned top. What
Give me a
is it gonna
second
be?
guess. I'm gonna say
Second
131.
guess, 37 seconds. Oh my god, I actually got it.
Streamer luck, eh? Well, I don't know. I feel like if we have chat around, guys, can we get some easy claps?
Alright, this is next level, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Man is a Nostradamus. He already knew. That's why he wasn't saying it earlier. But Seb, already getting some quick poke here from the Snapfire noob with a double damage rune. Full resources on both sides. Only one buyback for old G2 buybacks on the side of OT. And they're going to go for a smoke up. No vision is really down. This could be the last fight of OG. If they get surprised here, no tail. Good position to pop smokes. OT, they're just waiting it out. Playing sneaky like.
I don't think they need to go inside the pit because it's very tricky to, like, Morphling is their damage. If he gets hit by AA Blast, then, you know, you might just die, lose the game. He does have a buyback, however. He wants to have his level 25 as well. Radiant are scanning. They know something is up.
Yeah, they're still playing the waiting game here. Scan on Roshan. Still no moves coming out. Old G Continuing to hold their position. Now they're finally going to move into the pit. They see Kaori waltzing right in front of the Roche pit. The tag team with Morphling doing a lot of
Doing
damage.
a good job. First, attacking Roshan, letting Roshan get outside the pit.
Yep,
Maybe
obviously
waiting for
accessing.
AA Blast. And they're pinging out the bottom lane. Bottom lane is pushing in. They do not want to heavily commit. Doing a
Yeah. Creeps
doing a
inside
smart
the
move
base.
here.
Radiant's courier is gone.
You gotta pick between two poisons. Choose your battles. Which one's more important, the base or Roshan? Witcher getting a good jump on the backline. Noob with the two-man coil. Topson being the target once again. AA gone. He's got the buyback. TA 2000 down to half HP. And fighting against 3 right now. Stampede gonna be used as well. And Ooredoo Thunders still full control of the fight. AA Blast. That's gonna be a bit of a miss. He's gonna reset. But they're gonna let this Roshan, for the time being, get into the hands of the old G. Ooredoo Thunders still outside of the pit. Shards inside. They've got info now. They have to go in. They're going to take the challenge. No one going to be taking the Aegis for himself, but the Axe goes for the Tusk. He snatches it for himself. And Seb with his BKB is going to run out. No one down. Sniper all by himself, surrounded by red enemies. The whole Dire team going to combine their forces. The real Power Rangers move on top of the Sniper. No one down. And Topson, he just bought back. And he looks like he's going to be dying back as well. And Ooredoo Thunders, with these kills, I'm pretty sure that seals out the game as well. Noob still with a two-man coil.
Getting on to this is the game. Like we talked about this team, we try to hype it up.
GG.
Yeah, old G, they're going to call it. Beautiful execution. The way this game started, they got the kill on Sniper. They got a D-Ward. Then they got the courier on the bottom lane. And mana boots on Dead Prophet. I think that's one of the key parts to enable them to play aggressive in this bottom side lane. 2 first exorcism were kind of like meh because of the rotations that old G did, but the rest of the team did so much. Like Noob on Puck, we did praise him before the game started, and yeah, he's really showing some great performance here.
Yeah, this was a very good execution from Ooredoo Thunders, and especially when we highlight the fact that drafting against old G, their experience on drafting is so big, so wide, that if you're able to get yourselves an even draft, you've already you could say that's like a half a victory. You've already succeeded pretty well, but execution has to also come out. And Ooredoo Thunders, they showed up this morning on the first game. And it shows a lot of promise. Noob having a good game on Puck, the DP winning his lane, and Morphling not really struggling out of that laning stage either. So things went exceptionally well from that laning stage for OT.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, this whole team, the way they approach fights, the spell casting, everything is on point. This is not like some team that is, I don't know, like if we had to rate this team the way they played this game, this is pretty top tier, I would say.
Yeah.
The spell casting, the movement around the map, understanding how to take these fights and not overextending, especially the last fight near the Roshan where they go in and out. I think this shows really the strength of this team.
It does, but for old G, not everything is lost yet. It's not a best of 1, it's a best of 3, and after the break, we're going to take you over to game number 2 of this series. Hope you
to go back how Ooredoo Thunders played in the previous game, like there weren't many flaws. Like I gotta say, I've been really impressed the way they moved around the map, how they itemized. Like this Heaven's Halberd on Dead Prophet was, not gonna say game winning because other things also helped out quite a lot, and they already know. Like I also like that they're instantly picking their heroes. They're seeing this Tusk and response is Rubik plus Doom. This is going to be their offlane duo. A lot of damage coming out from these two. You do have a stun coming out from the Rubik and the Doom with the Scorched Earth, especially once you hit that level 3, 2 points in Scorched Earth, 2 points in Fate Bolt. Very difficult lane to handle.
Yeah, definitely. And curious about what the Doom build's going to be like. Seeing early points in Devour or a Harassy lane, looking for more trade-off, pick-off potential. Also, it does kind of come down to some of the jungle camps that are available, like what creeps are there to grab, what hero are you playing against? If it's like a Slark, do you go for Chain Lightning / Mana Burn? Still open. We're going to find out later about that one as well. I just wanted to point out one quick thing. Did some quick research on DPC players and nationalities. We have 2 Turkish players still in the tournament. We have Witter and we have Wesent for Team Blink. Witter actually has a chance to be the first Turkish player in Division 2 of the DPC, at least in West Europe. Not sure if we've had in other regions, but for West Europe, he would be the first one to make it there. So yet again, another nationality to play in the top league would be some kind of a small feat. Obviously, you don't think about it too much, but one's a first.
That's something to brag about in your own country. It's like, yeah, I was the first one. Doesn't matter what it is, but if they keep playing like this, he might be even in Division 1 after the first DPC tour, considering that they're playing so well.
That's a spicy thought. Everything is possible.
Definitely is. Yeah. Especially if you lie. That's what I learned. Anything is possible, but on the other side, Old G, after first phasing the Tusk, going with the Mirana, old school combo. You have 2 heroes that can play together, a lot of stuns, easy way to start a fight, snowball save, BKB piercing ability, roach taking potential. One of the reasons why Tusk has always been under my radar, because this hero does have everything, like the block on top of it. So Mirana, maybe 4, maybe 5. Also, it's Old G, so somehow in the end, Mirana can end up on a mid lane. Tusk also potentially a mid laner. I think they're gonna go with, they'll yet to see, but I feel like this Mirana is gonna be more of a 5 than a 4 here.
Yeah, I'm also kind of curious about Old G's approach into the draft. Like, do they want to look for something more basic and play it out? They wanted to win game 1 with an ancient apparition. See that we can definitely play any hero, we can beat any team, and they could have won game 1. It wasn't too much of a long shot. This was not a one-sided show for Ooredoo Thunders, but we'll see what their response is going to be like. Slark banned from OT Puck, also taken away from Old G. Targeting the core section currently. Still plenty of supports out there. See if they decide to ban something like Silencer. Could be a phase 2 ban. Very situational though, but it could still fit into the picture. You're going to go with a snap.
Removing Puck, I think, is a big one, because makes both of these heroes' life miserable. Tusk can't snowball on Puck ever. Mirana, like you see the arrow, it's easy to dodge. Also, not allow your coiled. Tusk can't use the snowball. Mirana can't use the leap charges. And the Noob did play hell of a Puck in the first game.
Oh yeah, he did. One of his comfort heroes too. I feel like Ooredoo Thunders was playing only comforts in the first game. Let's see if they get something similar here. We got the Phoenix pickup for Ooredoo Thunders, looking like a support alongside the Rubik.
It's the exact same draft that they opened up against Monospop. Rubik, Doom, and Phoenix, same order. The other two heroes were Naga Siren and Void Spirit.
Interesting. Could see the Naga can still easily work here, but you gotta look at the OG's heroes first before you respond.
It's also to note Phoenix into Mirana.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna go with Naga Siren because matchup is good for Naga. You do build into Orchid as your second item. Ursa, I mean, naturally builds into Battle Fury if he's having a good time. And this is exactly what Mona Spa had. They had Ursa, so let's see if they respond. This time around, Phoenix, I don't think he's going to have a good time. You're playing against Mirana, leap charges. She can solo kill the egg. Ursa as well. But it's going to be how they protect the egg.
Yeah, banning the Snapfire kind of opened up Ooredoo Thunders. Like, hey, we can just pick Phoenix here. Look at Lina, Ursa being the two egg destroyers. Go for the Ursa instead. And now with the Silencer, which I was thinking about in the banning section, gets picked up by Old G. That also kind of means Mirana, Tusk, one of them is going to be a core. Now it's obviously starting to look like the Tusk. Yeah.
I like Naga even more now because for your first item is Manta Style. You hit that pretty early on, and you dispel the global silence. I mean, you dispel the global, and then you can use Song to completely nullify the global silence.
Yeah. Counter to the initiation. Yeah. Does make sense. I do like the Naga pick too. They also kind of Old G's. They've got some issues dealing with this Naga as well. They don't really have a lot. Ursa also against Agi heroes, his damage, it takes a lot of time until it starts to ramp up. Naga has a lot of armor, so even despite how many Fury Swipe stacks you have, it's still going to be an issue. Batrider, Darkseer.
Darkseer would enable Ursa and cause some issues in the lane against Naga Siren, because I still don't know why that is. Why does Naga Siren Illusions give 2 gold when you kill them at level 1? It's like impossible to kill it. Same thing was with TA Traps, because you had to invest gold into sentries and then you get 1 gold back.
Yeah.
Back in the days, poor life of a support players.
Yeah, there was I think Fogged actually posted a good tweet. I think it was yesterday. I don't think it was today. I think it was yesterday. It was talking about like how the old days were really miserable for supports, and I believe we can all agree that it has definitely gone a lot better for supports. No longer beggars. It's that they actually get to build an item. Now we see we get to build 2 items, maybe even 3, like the Snapfire, Force Staff, Glimmer into a BKB. And this is a hero you don't get to see too often, the Sand King. Super situational, but is this a good game for the SK, Lacoste?
Yeah, it's they needed something in the lane against Naga Siren to deal with the illusions, instant jump that they needed to have, like Sand King plus a Silencer, Global Silence. Sand King goes in with the Epi Blink Sandstorm. You're going to be able to kill a hero most of the time. Gives you a bit more of a team fight. So now they need to respond. I don't mind seeing something like a Pango. On the other side, Old G banned out Queen of Pain and Batrider. These are the heroes that can jump over the Tusk shards, so protecting their mid lane, I would say. So this Tusk is going to be played from the mid lane in the end. Now you already know the matchup. I don't mind Pango. He's also the one that can jump over if they want to go with the same draft that they had against Mona Spa. Yeah. I don't think that Void Spirit is a bad pick, especially because he, like in this game, would build into Yule Scepter, I would say. Dispel the silence, you can save yourself from the snowball. It's a setup for an arrow, and also against Ursa, it's really good. Yeah, but it's going to be Pango in the end. I think they lean towards a Pango to give them a bit more of a team fight, I would say, rather than the Void Spirit. And it's also a hero that does have a disarm against Ursa. You can easily kill those supports. Once again, I do like what Ooredoo Thunders have more than what Old G has picked for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Pango versus the Ursa already. And kind of where we're looking at here is the SK and the Ursa scaling going to be enough versus this Naga Siren? And can they shut down TA2000 in the laning stage? It's going to be a big question. It's going to be a lot of work for Seb too. Not necessarily with the SK to really kill this Naga necessarily, but with the help of his teammates.
10 seconds
Finding the
to
Naga
pick.
in the jungle, for example. You've got good rotation power on OG, on old G.
5
A lot of
seconds.
mobility.
Hurry,
SK,
hurry.
Mirana, Tusk. They want to be active around the map. But Ooredoo Thunders, pretty solid, well-rounded draft. Looking at a 2-0 for them. That would lead them into Division 2. But old G is still standing in the way. We talked the last game was a bit of a 50-50. Maybe with a slight edge for Ooredoo Thunders. Maybe 52-48 would be realistic.
Dude, where'd you get that number from? Like, where'd you get that 2 from? 52.7. I think Old G has a good draft, but I'd still give an edge to Ooredoo Thunders. Maybe this time I said 55-45 last time around. I think this one I might even go with like 60-40 for Ooredoo Thunders. I do like Naga Siren quite a lot. I don't know if Naga is addressed enough. If she's gonna have a free time, I don't think she's gonna have a free time in the lane, considering that she's playing against Mirana and the Sanking. It's a deadly combo. Not necessarily maybe for her, but if they tend to put pressure on this bottom lane, she's gonna need to be in the jungle, leaving Phoenix there alone. The tower falls, and then the map opens up. So you do have a really strong early heroes you can fight with on side of Old G. You have Tusk, Sanking, like Silencer. These are the heroes that want to get active early on.
Yeah. What do you think about, when we talk in numbers and percentages, if we go 32.217%? How do you like that number?
Say the number again.
So
I'm doing the math.
32.217%.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Two magical numbers put together. Is it a curse or a gift?
It's more of a curse, I would say.
Yeah, 51 to 49% according to DOTA Plus. So we're pretty close here. Just a 1% throw. OT gonna wait it out here in the mid lane. Let's see if we see anything special itemization wise. Doom doesn't start off with pieces of his Wraith Band right away. But he's gonna be building it first after a set of tangos.
A lot of mangoes, though.
Has
Has 3 mangoes. This is something that Tundra did during TI. They kind of cracked the code how to win the laning stage with using a lot of mangoes just to sustain constant pressure in the lane. The A2000 using these illusions to scout things out. They're all over the place. And it's going to be 2 for 2 in the end.
Yeah, no, nothing special to start off with the bounties. Let's see who gets the better block here, Noob or Topson. Topson should. It's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be pretty even here. Topson, oh, he actually has the creeps crossing the river first, but it's still going to end up pretty much in the middle, so. No extra excitement here.
They're deeping each other on the bottom lane and instantly starting to play aggressive. Fade Bolt plus a Scorched Earth. I remember when Doom had literally 0 armor. Then his armor got increased to 1, increased to 2, and increased to 5. So usually Ursa was considered as a lane counter, but yeah, OT, they're playing this bottom lane really well, pushing it in, trying to get level 2 faster, and not allowing noone to connect onto Doom and get some right clicks going. No Tail starting with the Glaives of Wisdom, harassing as much as possible, but needs to be a bit careful here. Already down to half HP.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting question with the Doom armor scaling, you know, with a bit of Gaben logic added. The number 3 just doesn't exist. We just skip it completely and let's add some extra on top. 1, 2 into 5.
Yeah, not just that. You also get extra armor from Devour these days.
Yeah. That also helps. Has his first point picked up on Devour now. Top lane, nothing special here. 7-3 for the Naga. 6 last hits for Seb on the Sand King. Carry wanting to stack this camp, but Mirana intervening. No stack for you, sir. It's also looking pretty even in terms of CS, melee versus melee matchup. Everyone's farming. There's like no no one actually really wants Omar.
A courier from Radiant's army dies, and a piece of
No one brought boots of speed, wants to be able to close the gap. Does have point in overpower. Silencer is tough to deal with, especially if he lands Arcane Curse on 2 heroes, then Ursa starts hitting you. You can't pressure back, you're not going to be using spells, so you need to run away. But he's really low on regen. Right now, Silencer's bringing 3 tangos. Both of them are down to half HP, and you can see OT, again, playing very aggressive here on the bottom lane, and connecting with the Fade Bolt on both heroes.
Surprisingly powerful as well, this level 1 Scorched Earth. You don't want to be standing too nearby.
Looking at the top lane, MSS, he started with the Starstorm, and now saving a point. And I think I figured it out what the MSS means. It means Mirana Starstorm. That's what it is. We always wondered.
Crack the code. I don't even... Oh, I had a question, but I think I'm going to trip myself into a landmine, so I'm going to actually not ask the question. It will remain a mystery.
precious bounty.
But MSS...
Now I wonder what it is.
Yeah, we will all wonder what it is. You know, we love throwing some philosophical questions from time to time. Comparing to Monaspa Habu Game 2 laning stage, this is completely different.
Oh, absolutely. What did we have? We had like 20 kills in 6 or 7 minutes.
Yep, we had an over 3 kills per minute average pace, and with all the games that I've been casting inside these last 5 years, that was easily the highest amount of kills I've seen in a match. Normally, like the highest bloodbath games I've seen, I've usually averaged at like 2.3, 2.4. No-Tail, can he get first blood? No, he can't. Might actually end up losing his life instead.
First blooded.
Yup. He has been bled.
What is this?
Omar, first blood.
I came here to be tested.
It's a strong lane. This bottom lane, and again, Waiter going for the correct items. Getting that raid band, getting extra armor from that, and he even put another point in Devour just to get extra armor. Understands that he needs to be as tanky as possible, plus he brought a chainmail. So right now sitting at 16 armor when he has Devour active.
Yeah, that's a lot. 48% physical resist, so Ursa, even with 2 points in Fury Swipes, just not going to do much.
For a second, I thought I saw Skyrat Mage on a mid lane, but it's a Noob's Courier that is currently near the tier 3 tower if you want to catch it. It's something fancy. It has some cool look.
Oh, that's a Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, like the wings. The wings remind me of Skyrat Mage.
True. Okay. I can. Yeah, I'll buy the wings. I'll buy the theory on that. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more interesting looking couriers from the Candy Works. Imagine if you get that in a unusual version and then put like a prismatic gem on it. However, fighting bottom. Topson rotating. They're going to take that Witcher. Can they keep no one alive? No, they can't. Omar still going to get one traded off, and Topson looking for the secured kill. And no tail. Yep, early point in Glaives brings him up to +4. -2 for both of his enemies.
Both of these heroes don't have big mana pool, especially Doom, so stealing mana from them hurts them quite a lot. Maybe I expected them, maybe Rubik, to get Ring of Bassi in this lane to keep the constant spam, but you're also playing against Ursa, so you want to get Boots of Speed.
Yeah, it does start to hurt if Silencer stays alive. Most of these engagements and Doom, Pango, even the Phoenix, pretty low mana pools early on.
It's also not the worst stat on Noone, because he respawned with full HP, full mana. Instead, he would get pressured too much, so him dying doesn't really mean that much. I also want to check the top lane. It's Nagasa, and it's a bit of a resident sleeper lane, but she's farming. She's on top of the CS chart, close to top of the net worth. Tusk does have the most at the moment, and something that I noticed more recently is people are buying more and more Medallion of Courage, sometimes even Solar Crest. It's like a good, I'd say, adjustment to nurse the Great Pact.
Yeah. It's definitely an option.
Fortified their towers.
I think Solar Crest was one of the items that I really enjoyed, but I also... Well, I wouldn't say I'm super happy one thing happens leading into another, but I am happy that Crimson Guard is now being considered more and more, and I would actually like to see the item buffed just a little bit more, because it feels like it's still never bought, really. Like, maybe 3% of the games.
It's seen. I think it's seen from time to time. It's an expensive item, but could use some love, and I agree with that one. Oh, Mango, big difference. He got demolished on a mid lane, and another rotation from topson. Seems like they're aware of it. There is an observer ward. I don't think the obs scouted it out. I caught a glimpse. All right, if you click on obs, it caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
Active rune, noob will pick it up.
It's going to be a haste rune for the Pango, too. We'll be able to use that at some point. Not right now, as he takes a bit of a scuffle with... Okay, never mind. Hobson was considering walking back to bottom again, because there is a fight going on here right now. Omar, noone, both pretty low here. And No Tail taking the battle all the way through. Gets a trade.
Deals to Zen. That's what he wanted. And he's also level 6 on a position 5 silencer. I'm sorry.
That's quite alright. Silencers are happy with another stack of int stolen. And MSS...
8 minutes into the game.
MSS is just watching and following TA2000. He's got topson with him too, but he's going to get scouted out. Bottle refill TP for Noob by Omar. A lot of activity now inside the top jungle, and I really like that Old G is contesting this area. Most likely area for the Naga claim.
Using scan for himself, just in case someone comes close. Going into Manta style first item. No surprise there.
Yep.
Oh. Bottom lane. Doom forced to TP out.
My thanks.
Definitely has been one of the more sleepier starts, but looking at the heroes on both sides, you do kind of expect this to somewhat happen. Maybe we're going to see the bigger portion of action. Maybe I'd say the first Blink Dagger timers. Well, I was about to say 16, but Sand King is already 400 gold short to Seb. Going to be pretty active with this Sand King as soon as that is ready. Shards placed down by topson. Global Silence cancels out the Rolling Boulder, and there's nothing to arrow. Noob standing in the middle of the creep wave. Swashbuckle while the Walrus Punch comes out. Kaori going to die Tusk all the way under the tower. They're going to finish off this Tusk. Arrow will miss on Omar, and MSS leap stolen. Look at this Rubik leap right behind. Oh, he can't actually escape.
Got the kill.
Ooh, he got it.
Second Starstorm actually got it.
Early points in
That's
Starstorm.
a big one.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. Also, like, you don't expect these things to happen. Like, sure, you're paying attention, but 10 minutes into the game, position 5 Phoenix shows up with Supernova. Sometimes we see Phoenix is, like, barely being level 4 at that time. Same goes for the Silencers, because they had a good time. Nagasa did leave the top lane, which meant that someone's going to be soaking up the experience, and it was Phoenix.
Yeah, everyone is at least level 6 already 10 minutes in, so there's no level 5s in the game anymore. So
Zanking does have a Blink Dagger.
Ulti's up early, and Blink up, and a smoke gank coming in from MSS and topson. Definitely been very active. Definitely been very active so far. Seb did he throw a bait teleport bottom so they could make a play in top? Creep wave is walking in though. Seb. Yeah, they can't find Noob.
They know something's up, and now they seen Blink Dagger on a Sand King. This top tier 1 tower is very low, 200 HP, while OG's is pretty healthy. They don't have that much tower damage, so they need to play with the catapult or bring numbers.
Yep. I actually feel really, really silly right now. When we were talking about the courier conversation, I was actually looking at Topson's courier, not noobs. Now I see what you're talking about, the Skywrath.
Oh, okay.
Now I feel really silly. Okay. Yeah, now, yeah, I totally understand the Skywrath thing now. Much better. Right. Topson rolling. Oh, he doesn't get the Walrus punched off, and the egg will be popped by the Phoenix, and that's going to lead into Topson dying. Can't get a kill. Loses his life.
Rubik also just using Enrage for whatever reason, because like this is not the spell that you want to have stolen. But just in case, he wants something else. There's some really good spells to steal this game. Tusk Shards, Snowball, mostly Sanking Stun, like even Sandstorm, plus also Silencer Curse. That's a really good one.
Didn't Rubik used to have extra base damage at level 10 as a talent?
He did, yes.
So that was when mid Rubik was actually played more. So having something like Overpower and Ursa could actually be useful. Sadly not the case anymore. Topson diving deep here. Taking a lot of damage from Omar and Noob. Force out the Moonlight Shadow. And there's a sentry placed down, so MSS is spotted, No Tail is spotted, scan being used as well, so catching the Rubik, arrow flying in, not needed. Alt G find themselves a kill despite the information for Ooredoo Thunders.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Should open up the mid tower, maybe. Well, they actually have to defend top, maybe even bottom too.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Dire's structures are
Both teams don't have much tower damage. Like, they need to play with catapults, otherwise these towers are not gonna fall. Smoke coming out from Old G.
And Topson also was attempting on Kaori. Can't quite close in the gap for the Phoenix. Phoenix also building into a Yule's first item. Should always be able to dispel the global silence into egg.
Double the value, being able to dispel global, and also, again, kite against Ursa, great against the snowball save.
Yeah. Great against Ursa for sure. Maybe sometimes in pub games you see mass Yules being built against Axes and Ursas. I don't think we're gonna need more than just one. Don't want to be too one-sided. There's still a couple other threats they need to take into account. If Ursa was like the only damage-dealing hero, then you maybe could build like 2-3 Yules just against him, just to keep him out of the fight. Luckily, Dota is not that one-sided. Topson pretty deep here. Smokes are going to be popping. Snowball instantly onto the Doom. MSS was looking for an arrow connection, but Topson's going to get surprised himself. Why is there so many people here? Oh yeah, the whole team's here.
Global was ready, but he was lacking mana. I think he would pop the global, potentially to try to save the Tusk. But very good read from OT. And yeah, you gotta be careful. This Naga Siren is starting to ramp up.
Yup.
Manta style done. Going into Scotty next. I love Orchid. I'm a big fan of Orchid. It does allow you to get the solo pickoffs, like pre-BKBs, you can kill the cores, but I guess he wants to be able to tank up those illusions so that he can't be bursted.
Yep.
And against Ursa, having extra armor, global silence again, not enough mana.
Doesn't get to do much here, but the global silence and Doom have both been expended. And a bit of a reset on both sides. Big ulties. Seb's still hunting. He has his blink. They're quite clustered up here. Doesn't quite catch the Phoenix, though. He's going to get the heal on the Doom. Epicenter being used up, too. But Seb's taking a lot of damage, a lot of magical damage. Gotta be careful here.
These are all fights without Ooredoo Thunders still having like the full potential. Pangolier decided to go for Arcane Boots as his first item, which means that... Oh,
Yep, a lot of armor on the Doom, but it's not going to help against the Starstorm. But topson gets the kill. Sep finding a stun on the Rubik. Rubik's going to be falling as well momentarily. They take down Kaori and find themselves 3. And now TA2000. That's the first time the Naga participating aggressively. And they've got Noob joining in the fight as well. Sep going to be taken down.
He's gonna get connection again.
He'll be chased up
And
double.
another one.
Yep, and to the silencer too. Triple for Noob.
That's what I said before the fight started. Like, they didn't unleash this Spango because he went for arcane boots. He was, like, kind of struggling. He's still in the mid.
Yep.
In terms of the net worth, but yeah, finally has his diffusal blade, and with that being picked up, it's gonna cripple the whole team of Old G. Seems like they are lagging a little bit.
Somebody pulled the plug. Yeah, it's a bit of lag reports on the side of Ooredoo Thunders, waiting for them to reconnect back into the game. So, one thing that I wanted to kind of highlight about topson's Tusk and his activity around the map was, I think we discussed, was it an LCQ? Yeah, it was an LCQ. We talked a lot with Fear and Kezu about topson's map movements and how he's kind of unique compared to many of the other mid laners in that tournament, of how active he is. Like, he could rotate level 3 or level 4.
We've seen rotation 2 times already in these 2 games, pre-level 6 rotations, because he felt like he needed to fix the bottom lane. Ursa was not having that good of a time. Finally managed to recover, does have a Battle Fury going into BKB next. This is going to be a bit of an issue. Once Ursa gets a BKB, they don't have much to stop him besides the Doom, if they can get the Doom on him pre-BKB. But there's also a global silence to follow it up, so yeah, Ursa and noone having a much better time than in the previous game. And now he's starting to play top part of the map, so if he sees 3-4 heroes, he can easily threaten the Roshan kill.
Yeah, that is pretty important as well, that they're able to get the first Roshan as soon as possible to still enable the shard timing for the second Rosh kill for Ursa. And they've got their sights on it right now. noone is going to run into the pit with the whole fight happening in the bottom half of the map. You know, there's a lot of distance to cover for Ooredoo Thunders to make it here in time. topson have been helping out with the medallion, 2 points in tag team. And being such a nice guy, that he's also going to tank it a bit for noone to finish off. So the first Roshan for Old G. They're going to be a bit late for the party.
It's always tricky to play against Radiant Ursa. You swap the sides. One mistake, one good observer ward that scouts things out for you. And yeah, he takes it so quickly.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Now they just need to push out their waves. Maybe fight with the BKB timer on noone. Phoenix, 4 points in Sunray. Does do a nasty amount of damage onto the Ursa. No one to be found on their bottom half of the map. The mid-tier 1 tower did just fall at the same time as Roshan was being completed by Old G. That is the first tower loss on their side of the map. Both teams only having 1 tower in the first 18 minutes.
Goes back to the draft where they can't really pressure as much. Sanking does have a second item for himself. For staff to be able to push himself and other out of the trouble. Doom. BKB already flying, so he's gonna be able to protect himself, counter the global silence, not care too much about the sanking. topson's already in.
Yeah, hunting for a kill. Sep missing the stun on Noob as the Rolling Thunder runs its full course. They have a sentry down on the ground. They don't seem to be... they only have... Okay, they have dust on Pango. That's really good. Always like to see a core player holding on to a... At least 8
This is not a pop match, so the cores will be having dusts. Again, net worth keeps increasing and increasing for side of OT. Naga Siren, almost, I mean, Ursa is up there getting close, but Naga Siren's pushing out the wave so quickly.
Sep with the aggressive blink in, just can't find a target for himself. Kaori, very good movement there, good footwork. Glyph being used to hold this tower up just a little bit longer. Ursa constantly low on HP. Topson still wants the regen rune for himself, though. And that is a Tusk BKB. And there's the Ursa BKB working a Blink Dagger next. So I would like to see Old G be the ones to look for pressure on the map now that they have themselves the 2 BKBs up. And the Aegis.
I don't think OT wants to pressure until Naga Siren gets her item. And she's very close to it, 400 gold away from Scotty.
Yeah, it would be a bit awkward to take a fight if you're so close to finishing your item. Like,
Yeah, it's just straight up stats. It doesn't give you anything else. It actually gives you...
Rolling Thunder being
extra
used.
armor.
Topson blocked out by Omar's shards. And Nuke looking for the stun. Global Silence being used as well. Topson pops his BKB. Has to turn around. He's got backup arriving. No one. He's here, but he needs to close the gap. He
Good staff.
already with the Yules. And oh, they might just lose the Aegis here. No one. Enrage being used. Lives with 150 HP remaining. That's a close call. Yeah, that's a BKB charge and a global. And they're still going to smoke and go. TA2000 might be caught here. They've got the Naga on their sights. And they're going to go straight at him. Tried to go for the song. Not going to happen. Epicenter loaded up. And the damage is looking to be sufficient. They've got it. The egg popped as well. And Old G looking to disengage. Wither, he's on the chase though. Has a BKB. Has the Doom. Looking for Topson. He's been dusted. He's in the trees. But the shard. Oh, it blocked Nemesis. But he gets the leap before the Doom connects. However, it burns. It burns. And Sep, he's also in his own world of hurt here right now, trying to escape. Gets the blink off just in time before Noob and Omar get the connection with the swashbuckle. And trying to do movement damage as well with that shard. No tail. He's right next to the Pango. Another fight breaking loose on the sides. No one being thrown into the air. Wither's BKB has been used. No tail down as Noob gets the kill. And Pango also just picked up a blink dagger for himself. So several skirmishes. And it might just not be done yet. No one in Topson. Not sure if they saw the Doom there with the shards. I feel like they're just going to give this one go. Teleport away.
It was a good plan from Old G, finding Naga Siren. That's her first death of the game. Unfortunately, she was not able to get the song off perfectly executed. Stun into Sandstorms, into Arrow, and then full Epicenter Unleash. Phoenix tried to protect him with the egg, but it was just not enough. They didn't back off, and yeah, still, again, net worth increasing. It comes down to Naga Siren farming up the whole map, and also having a Doom with Devour and Hand of Midas.
Yeah. They're definitely ramping up on the gold side of things. Another pause by no one. Gotta figure out the game plan, though. What's the timing we're looking at for Ooredoo Thunders? Like, is, you know, technically you could say Naga's ready. You could say that, but do you have to? I think they're just happy farming and scaling.
There was a time, like a year, 2 years ago, where Naga Siren was farming until she loses the game. She's like never fight ready.
Mm-hmm.
But with the newer build, I still would want if there is like an Orc. And maybe he wants to protect himself against Ursa. All right, they caught the Sanking. He does have another Burrow Strike in a couple of seconds.
And the blink in 2, but Omar's there. Yeah,
that's the Rubik's Burrow Strike. One of the better spells you can steal. Unfortunately, it does not have a Blink Dagger.
It's a way to close in the gaps. I like what you when you were saying like, there was a time, like when we were young. And
it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, the
Arrow
arrow.
snipes him.
Diffusal slow seems to have backfired a bit there.
Oh, the egg gets off.
Oh, actually gets it. Now allows him to turn it around. No tail down. An MSS on the run. Wither though with the instant BKB usage there in the early parts of the fight, making sure that they can close in. Topson still thinking about going in, or at least throws in the shards for vision. Bit awkward there for No Tail. He thought that the egg's definitely gonna explode, but it didn't.
You see Ursa hitting the egg, you're like, yeah, guaranteed. But needed one extra hit. I think it was mid-swing, very close to it. So Naga Siren going into Butterfly to protect against the Ursa. Ursa can eventually get MKB. He doesn't have a problem with that, especially with having the Battle Fury, so very easy to farm it up.
Net worth just continues to grow from 5k to 7k now. Old G. They're going to take the initiative. Omar, the great start for the fight. Sep blinks on the high ground. Shard's going to give some vision, but not going to block the Rubik. Still no entry point. Noob turning around. The lift comes out. Sep with the stun. Rubik going to be low. The Doom's going to be coming out as well onto topson. Topson trying to run away. And Sep finding himself all alone in the front line. No tail down as well. And topson killed as the Shards from Omar block out the Tusk. And the lone fisherman surrounded by ice and fire.
Yeah, nicely done. Also, no global silence available for this fight. They definitely needed to like either pop a BKB immediately, and yeah. One thing we didn't notice is Brigand's Blade on Pangler. It's the best item you can get, like as for tier 2 items. Sometimes I see that people even hold that item for such a long time because it just. You drop low, and the Swashbuckle dismantles you. Like Mindbreaker. There's so many good neutral items for Pango. Next Roche, gonna respawn in a minute and 20 seconds. And now, looking at Pango's items, what he has in a quick buy, going for Lincoln Sphere next. I also wouldn't mind seeing like a Lotus Orb. It's a big item on Pango for yourself to protect against Global Silence, Burrow Strike, great against the Snowball, and also gives you extra 10 armor against Ursa's right clicks.
Yep. And doesn't look like anybody else is also building that. Well, Rubik is actually building the Lotus Orb, so Noob can't get stunned by the Epicenter stun, or Snowball, or Walrus Punch by the looks of it, and then Omar can just dispel the Global Silence. But then it's Omar's job to make sure that Noob can get his ulti off. And no one in the front lines. Be careful here. Wants to play around his own vision. Everybody else is here except for Seb on the Sand King, still rotating from the bottom wave. And that bot wave is still pushing in right in front of the tier 2 tower. OT just playing it with 5. And Roche is up in 15 seconds. And this is the one Old G needs. Roche number 2.
They understand. They need this next Roshan. They want to get the shard on Ursa, but Ursa is so close to his bastard, 200 gold away. This is something that could change the fight.
There we go. The X gonna go up. The X gonna go up for sure. The song is being used as well. TA2000 resetting the fight. No one's BKB is running out. The X pop now, and Seb's down. No one in trouble. Doomed up. No one rage for you. Ursa dead as well. And Old G. It was so close to being perfect, but the Yules on the Phoenix allows him to live a bit longer in TA2000 with this song. And
they're still not done. They want to chase for more. They see Mirana.
Sure.
Okay, gonna
they
stop.
Can just spin them away. Topson.
Straight into Roche pit.
Well, he's going to go for Omar with that DD rune. He's going to find a kill for himself, but did he pay the ultimate price for it? Looks like he did. Surrounded. You know, it kind of looks like a guy who ends up walking into the wrong back alley, surrounded by thugs.
This is me having beef in a pub game and going for the guy that I dislike. Long story short, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And inside the Roche pit they go. This is going to be Shard and Aegis. This one Yule Scepter changed the whole thing around. Buying time for himself, dispelling the global silence, and then a Force Staff coming out from Omar, keeping him alive.
Yep. And now, with the second Roche going for Ooredoo Thunders, means that we have roll-up on Pango, and we have the Aegis up on the Naga, who was already at a point, or at a stage, where this hero is kind of difficult to deal with. Now, even worse, Butterfly built up, and working on a
It's not just the Butterfly, it's also Elven Tunic, so
and
having that evasion
there goes
against
Seb.
Ursa will not be able to hit Naga Siren. And another kill on Seb. Because Naga Siren was thinking, do I need a BKB? Before they took the Roshan, that was the item that she wanted to go for. And now thinking about the Hex, because you already have one. This is the solo kill threat.
Pain. Absolute pain for Topson. TA2000 webs up the Tusk and can't snowball, can't do anything. Just gets... I don't know. What's a word where all your body parts get ripped apart? Obliterated, indeed.
and also Doom getting his item. This is what you're playing for. Get that Octarine core.
They're getting caught one by one. That's got to be the Ursa down too. Ooredoo Thunders, they're coming up with a pretty big feat here, by the looks of it.
I don't think there's a comeback in this game. Like, they closed out the first game very cleanly. The fights that they approached, and seems like that's gonna be the thing. They don't have what it takes to deal with this Naga Siren. Tier 3 already down. Ursa
3%.
dead for 40 seconds. That's pretty generous. And no buyback on Ursa.
Yeah, this is...
With the stolen burrow.
This is the feeling you get when you wake up in the morning, but you wake up on your own. Like, why didn't my alarm ring? Well, we missed the clock, we missed the timer. And this is the situation that you're in right now. topson going to be falling as well. Old G looks like they're going to be entertaining us later on in the lower bracket finals, because currently Ooredoo Thunders very close to closing up, or closing in to that Division 2 spot. Guaranteeing themselves at least one tour of gameplay. TA 2000 sings the song of our people and teleports away.
What did he buy? He bought something. Let's see what he decided to buy. It's gonna be a BKB in the end, going for the Hex as next item. That's a set of barracks and also...
Nope. Got surprised a bit by the Mindbreaker from Ursa. Noob's still been playing really well in this series.
Most definitely. Struggled a little bit in the laning stage, but did manage to land some sick rolling thunders connecting on multiple people.
Yep.
And that triple kill near the tier 2 tower on the east gave him his defusal blade that he desperately needed. Seems like this is going to be a smoke from OT. Try to find something and go for more towers. There's still tier 2 towers available.
Yeah, this smoke up, MSS. Marana's already an easy target to jump on, but they want a big core that will allow them to enter that high ground with ease. noone walks down to the low ground. Is that enough? Kaori, Icarus dive into the Yules, and there's the follow-up, dooming him up. He does get the enrage off, but he's still slowly gonna drop. And that damage is just gonna ramp up after the duration ends. And Ursa is gone for 75 seconds. It looks like the game just might be that. topson. Okay, he found a kill. He's got all the spells on cooldown. Goes for the quick meow. Leave this angry cat alone. No can do. Ooredoo Thunders to take another.
There's still tier 2 towers, so the only way to go in is to go for tier 4 towers.
Yep, time to end. Well, at least, you know, Pixel and T-Gov gonna have some fun as old guy's gonna be entertaining us later on in the lower bracket finals.
This game's still not over. It looks really over, but they might have one more fight. 40 seconds without Tusk. He does have a buyback. Ursa 30 seconds, no buyback though. So
there's a chance.
One more fight.
Smoke on 3 inside the fountain. Global is up. Epicenter loaded up. Who do they go for? The Doom. Okay, they took a look for the Naga, but Seb doesn't get the Burrow strike off. And Waiter pops his BKB. Noob rolling away. topson jumping the back line, but the song has been used, and they cancel it quickly so they can isolate topson all by himself. Arrow flies in, connects onto the Doom, and Naga just continues to hammer on. And that's a 95-second death penalty for the Tusk. 4 versus 5, and full buybacks on Ooredoo Thunders. Sand King low on HP, 4 staff save from the lift, and onto the Pango they go. Noob going to be dropping low on HP, but still surviving. noone can't quite close in the kill, and here comes the egg with the quick Icarus dive. noone, they can actually destroy this egg, but will they lose heroes for it? No Tail going to be dropping first. Ursa low on HP and tries to take down the Doom. Not gonna happen, and Doom going to get stunned up by Seb and finally cleaned out as well, but Seb will lose his life.
That was a beautiful play there from Phoenix, and the topson is gonna call it.
Ooredoo Thunders into Division 2. Congratulations.
Nicely done. People definitely did not expect this to happen, but the way they played, it was really damn good. Pretty clean, serious, 2-0. 2-time TI winners, and yeah, I mentioned the play in the end by Phoenix. He dives in, uses the Yule Scepter on Ursa mid-dive and then pops the egg in front of them, everybody tries to focus it down, which results in a disaster. Like, they kill the egg,